song that really spoke to me strongly, super strong spirit chills. Very moved to do this video for those of you that are waiting or chasing. Okay, so for the waiter or the chaser. The song is utterly beautiful. Of course, the artist who did the song is also equally beautiful. He's gorgeous, like lots of dark hair, curly dark hair. It's beautiful. The song was "Don't You Cry for Me" by Kobe. Now, this song is about a man that's very deep within his fears and his regrets. That his fears have left him in a state where, you know, he's created the experience he's in now, continually running and having, you know, running from his own inner demons and, you know, looking for somebody, something to help him to come away from that. So I'm going to read you the lyrics. They're kind of a little bit gruesome in the beginning because he's sort of talking about hanging, like a person hanging, him hanging himself, but he's speaking of metaphorically speaking. So yeah, I just need to be clear about that. He's speaking metaphorically about, you know, being hung by his fears, you know, that his fears are basically the death of him in a roundabout way. You know, that's kind of like the old saying goes, you know, you kind of create your own circumstances, right? So the very beginning of the song talks about him, you know, placing himself in the binds of his fear, placing himself in a position where fear has him entrapped. And, you know, it's typically fear that causes the one twin to run. It's like, what is this connection? You know, the connection is so strong that it's terrifying. And the connection is when two twins are within each other's presence, the energy expands. And that can be very frightening because the whole purpose of the twin flame journey is to work out all of those fears, all of those difficulties, all of the struggles that you are each dealing with individually and coming to a point of balance within yourselves. And so, which makes you a better person. So you too, the chaser, is also living in fear. Living in fear, chasing the one who's running. So this fear-based kind of song here, I feel, applies to both the chaser and the runner. But the one who's waiting, you'll resonate with the fact that you've probably gone through this as a chaser. You've probably gone through it as a runner if this situation is flip-flopped, because we've seen that a lot with twin flames. So let's get rolling. Very beginning. He's bound by his fears. Bound by his fears. I'm not going to repeat the lyrics because they are kind of gruesome. And then he says, dark in the eyes. In other words, he's having trouble seeing positive things. He's having trouble seeing the good in his life. And trying to face the world, I can't bear to. So he's, you know, the runner, whether it's a man or a woman, doesn't matter. The runner is doing their best to face their own fears and to face the world despite the fears, despite the struggles, despite their regrets. They're trying to move on. They're trying to be happy. They're trying to find that sense of happiness, but all they see is darkness. All they see is difficulties. All they see is struggles, right? And then he says, my knees hit the ground and my hands start shaking. That's the realization of what the person has said and done, those regrets. The realization of how difficult the journey has been, because as we'll see as we get a little bit further into the song, that it's been of this person's own making. And oftentimes the runners place themselves in that situation by running. Rather than sitting down and having an adult conversation, they get fearful and they run. They dash. They get as far away from their twin as possible, you know, because they don't understand it. They don't know what's going on. All they see is, oh my gosh, you know, this intensity of the emotion, you know, feels fearful. Then the lyrics go on to say, old feelings from new faces. They can run from you, twin flame. They can run from you, but they can't run from the feelings they have for you. They can try to squash it. They can try to claim that they don't feel anything for you. You know, they can try to claim that, you know, you meant nothing because they're running. But yet, when they look in new faces, when they start dating someone else, all they see is you. All they see is you. They compare you to them. They compare the new person to you in everything, you know, and so they see you everywhere they go. They're faced with their feelings for you everywhere they go. And Spirit's not going to let them rest there. Spirit's going to continue to show them signs and symbols and things of that nature to guide them back towards you. Then it says, rope on the floor, poor man hanging. That's just a sense of the fears are still overtaking him. The fears are still overtaking him. Even when he's, as the runner sees the twin in the faces of the new people that they're dating, or, you know, as they're out and about in town, they're still gripped by fear. Still gripped by fear. But they don't want to be. They don't want to be. The next verse, or the next line says, please help chop this tree down. You know, please help get me off of this hangman's tree, right? Please help me to get unstuck. But you can't do that, twin. They can only do that on their own. And they know that. They realize that. They realize that. It says, or hold me from underneath. How can you do that? How can you give them extra strength? Send them energy. If you send them energy, it'll give them extra strength. But don't go calling them saying, I sent you energy. Unless you have that kind of relationship where you could say, you know, hey, I'm sending you good energy. If you both have talked about energy, you know, I did that with my twin once. I was like, hey, I'm sending you some good Kimmy mojo. You know, so, you know, send them some energy to give them extra strength, to give them extra strength to deal with these inner demons they're fighting. He said in the lyrics, words never once cut me down off the hangman tree. So words never once sufficed to cut me down. There's nothing you could say to your person. Not a single thing you can say to them that's going to take them away from their fear, because they are required to face it on their own. You're not supposed to help them to face their fear. You're not supposed to help them to overcome their inner demons. They have to go on that part of their journey alone, without you, twin. And then it says, don't you cry for me. So this, your twin that's running doesn't want you to feel sorry for them, because they've created the situation they're in, and they don't want to see you crying. They don't want to see you hurting, because they have love within their soul for you. They don't want to see that. They want you to continue to move forward in life. They want you to continue to do the things that make you happy, to achieve the things that you want to achieve, to go after your goals, to go after your dreams. They don't want to see you stopped in your life from moving forward like they are in their fear. They want you to keep going. Then it says, seen oceans run away. That's talking about the depths of, you know, the tides of emotion. You know, sometimes it's difficult, sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's more difficult than others. I'm torn from truth that holds my soul. You know, the truth of the twin flame union. Whether they're awakened to it or not, in the soul level, it's felt when the two of you are together. From a soul level, it's felt, because you're one soul in two bodies. It's, you know, something that can be felt. You have the same energy signature. That's how I could always feel my twin when I was out and about. I'd be out somewhere and I'd know that he had sat in that seat, or he had, like, you know, and then I'd hear he had been there like the night before or whatever. We have a lot of mutual friends. But, you know, you have the same energy signature. So the truth of the connection is you're one soul, two bodies. So They know it at their core. On a soul level, they know the connection. I'm down in the grave where I belong. This person is dealing with intense regrets. They feel they deserve this disconnection from you because of things they've said, things they've done. They feel regretful. They feel like you should hate them rather than love them unconditionally like you do, twins. You know, they feel this sense of deep regret, like you will never want to take them back again because of the things they said and they've done. But you're supposed to show unconditional love. I mean, the twins have unconditional love for one another. Doesn't matter what you did. Doesn't matter what you do to them. And they know it deep down inside. And then it says, what a ride. Identified my devil. So, you know, your twin flames identifying the source of their shadow side. You know, the source of their difficulties. They may have actually gone through a very dark night of the soul in the past year or so. You know, they've identified the things that are keeping them gripped in fear and keeping them saying things and doing things that may be out of character for them. And then it says, wings to the sky on the run from trouble. They're running from you. The trouble is that intense connection, the intense emotions, I'm getting such strong spirit chills right now. The intensity of the emotions, the intensity of the feelings. You know, maybe the feelings aren't identified when you're first together, but there's something different about it. There's something intense about a twin flame connection, and it's that intensity that has them running. It has them running. And then it says, with my own hands, no shovel, I dug through the ground. So they know what they've done. I'm not excusing people's behavior, those twins that are waiting. Twins that are chasing you too are responsible for your actions. You know, because fear is driving you to cling if you're chasing. You know, so both twins have things they have to work through individually. And, you know, it's a super important part of the twin flame journey. If your person is running, they need the space to deal with the things that they've said and done. They need the space to deal with whatever regrets, whatever triggers they're facing, because it is for their personal growth, their soul development. They're awakening to the twin flame journey. They're awakening to their own individual journey. They're awakening to the need to balance their energy within themselves. And then it says, now hanging from above, please help me chop this tree down or hold me from underneath. No words are going to do it. Only energy.